welcome to Pantera Tribe podcast. Today I am not alone. I'm with my guest Jordy. Hi Jordy. How are
Hi,
you
hi,
today?
amazing, Evelina. Thank you so much. What about you?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm great.
Oh,
So let's dive in. Jordy is one of our mentors in our company. He's also busy with crypto, forex. He has social media. A lot to learn from. I learn from you every time I see you at the office. Wish we could see each other more.
yeah,
But you
yeah.
are coming from Holland or
No, no, Belgium.
Belgium?
Yeah,
Okay.
half Dominican. My mother is Dominican, so I've been blessed with some Latino vibes.
Okay, okay, okay.
But I've been born and raised in Belgium.
Para. It's like
Para,
Spanish.
sí, claro,
Sí.
podemos seguir en español también.
You see? You see? Voila. Muchas gracias, Jordi. And let's go then. Let's see. Can you introduce yourself for our audience a little bit? How are you feeling today? And describe a little bit your journey in one
Yeah,
sentence.
100%. Do you think it's better to talk to the camera or to?
Yeah, you can switch.
So yeah, I've been blessed with a beautiful family with, five, like two brothers, two sisters, so a lot of energy in the house. In the beginning, we had everything we could dream of. So my dad was working very hard, didn't really see him a lot, but had nothing to complain about. Beautiful family. Financially, we were actually in a good place. But then in 2008, my father actually went bankrupt. That had like a huge financial impact and followed by an emotional impact on the whole family, losing the house, losing the cars, losing, everything we actually had. The only thing we had was each other. But then a little bit after, like my parents chose to split up, so they divorced as well. So we went through kind of an emotional roller coaster, being somewhere between age 12 and 16. And from there on, just I started to take more responsibility about life because I knew if I wanted my family to live a better life, like without worries and stuff, I knew that it was up to me to really fix it, and that's when I started just working hard and take responsibility of everything that happens in my life. And that's a little bit the story until today. Uh, I've, I've, I'm very grateful for all the struggles in my life because they actually built me to who I am today. And I thought along the way that these things were helping me, setting me up for greatness.
Yeah.
Later on, I found God and stuff. That's something we can maybe talk
Yeah.
about
Of course.
later. But yeah, that's what's up, beautiful family. Always loving and caring, and life that you know gave me opportunities to grow. Let's call it that way.
Yes, yes. Yeah, beautiful what you say. We only had each other, but then somebody had to take responsibility for it. Were you the oldest one?
No, the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the boy, the
Uh,
older boy, or
no, we have like I have an older brother, 33. I'm 31. I'm 31. No, I'm 30.
you never know the age of your
Oh my
siblings.
god.
I know that now.
No, they're like sister 27, brother 23, sister 21.
Okay, big family. So,
Yeah.
my question is like, I know I can feel the same things like I experienced as well, struggle, constant survival mode, and having to really fight for your family because you feel the responsibility for it and you know that they need your help. How did that shape you today? How these challenges made you the person you are today?
Mm.
I feel like, sorry, I
Yeah, yeah,
feel like
please.
people underestimate and they think like success comes like this or success can be fast even when they start with trading and stuff. They don't want to get out of the comfort zone and really take the responsibility of being consistent. Even me, like now, are already learning so much every day and having the whole life of struggle. Yet the first months when I started, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna just watch the videos sometimes and go to the office. And you think it's gonna go faster, but then you get a wake up call and you're like, no, I have to get out of comfort zone. I have to wake up earlier, get that cold shower, start trading in the morning, really, and do the right things that will make you that person. But people underestimate that. They think I will stay comfortable until I can't really, until the universe will say like, or God will say, hey, come up, eh? Now it's time. How does that shape you? That whole situation with your bankruptcy of your father and the struggles you had.
Yeah, like loaded question, but like good question. Like when I was driving here, I was just taking a moment of gratitude for the fact that life made me a patient person because I was the most impatient person ever. You know, waiting in the queue and all of that stuff really like got, gave me stress. You know, but like in this, we live in a kind of microwave society because everything goes fast, you know, on Instagram or everything just in a couple of seconds. It's like a fish has a longer concentration span than humans, and that's only like 3 seconds or something. So everybody wants everything fast, but imagine if success came fast and easy, like everybody would have it, and people would not respect you. I don't want to have something that is easy to get. The fact that it's hard to get is the fact that people respect you for it. You know, it's imagine having an incredible shape, incredible physique. People just know it takes consistent disciplined action over and over and over and over again. I went running today. I didn't want to, you know, but I was just like, I have to because motivation is something temporary. Motivation is something actually fake. It just flies with the wind, you know. But the discipline is the thing that actually gets you there. And life, I've always like kind of had a certain faith without knowing what it actually was, but I had a faith that life would eventually turn out amazing. Like if life was not amazing, I knew it was not the end. So I just kept going in a way in a just knowing that it eventually would turn out, and that just kept me going and going and going, and eventually it's not that then life is perfect at a certain point, but you just get better in yeah, in dealing with life itself, in being grateful for whatever comes your path, whatever comes on your path is meant to be there. Everything happens for a reason. You just know, okay, in the beginning, life is super hard, and you're like, why is this happening to me? But then whenever things hit harder and you just learn to deal with these things and you just grow through these things, then you get excited instead. Like the bigger the challenges, the bigger the growth. And that's something that life really taught me. And then in the beginning, because you asked like what happened when your father went bankrupt, or how did you deal with that? To be honest, I did not deal with that. I think I don't even know if I dealt with it in the right way. I was just super young, not really knowing what was happening, not really accepting the fact that my parents were going out like divorcing, and life was just hard. I just went through it. I just was like, okay, let me fix this. Doesn't matter how long it takes. I was just on a mission to working hard and fixing it. So, yeah, that's how I basically dealt with it.
All right. This? So what? I don't care.
No, no, I'm just here if you don't mind.
Okay, no, no problem. I can make a story if you
Yeah,
want.
also for you.
So may I ask you something?
Yeah, 100%. That's right
Yes.
here, right?
Yes, of course. So you are actually a profitable trader, crypto full time.
Yeah,
Full time. Right?
yeah.
How long did it take you?
That's a good question. To be very, very honest, my main income is actually not crypto and forex, so I'm still in the process of learning. But we became better, In crypto, it's like we say timing in the market. With crypto and forex, timing in the market is more important than timing in the market. But you know that in crypto, timing is very important too. 4 years ago, I just didn't know what I was doing. I bought a coin. It was like it's actually a funny story. It was MILF coin. It was to support mothers like alone, how do you say alone
Single
mothers?
mothers.
If like thank you. It was to support single mothers. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I heard from a friend, like I said, like, yeah, that's cool. Let's invest. The 1,000 euros went to 8,000 euros in only 24 hours. So you can imagine how I felt, right? I was euphoric. I thought like, oh my God, yes, it's happening. I'm going to become a millionaire. And what happened less than 2 days later, it all crashed. The thousand I initially invested was gone and all of that stuff. So that's the first cycle you have to go through, investing money, losing more money, making a lot of money, but don't having the right education to, take some profits, take it out, reinvest it. So now we're a couple of years ahead. In very interesting times, of course, as you know, Bitcoin has 5x this year, and all the rest actually has to fall. Some of the coins has done very well, like XRP and stuff as well. So we're in a decent place. And then for trading, to be honest, half year I'm not the best trader. I just use systems, tools, the AI tools like scanners and stuff that can consistently help me make the right objective decisions without needing to put my emotions in place. Because in trading and investing, 10% is skill set. That's what the scanners is doing. 90% is emotional, like, or
You still
not
have to
emotional.
decide to take the trade or not.
We're the ones pushing the buttons, right? But that has really helped me. I don't know if without the scanners, I would actually be where I am right now because I've never actually put in the hours in the learning to how to become a technical analyst or a profitable trader. But it's all actually the tools. I just give the credits to the tools and the
Yeah.
glory to God.
Yeah. That's what I also wanted to say. I think the faith also keeps us going.
100%.
But coming back to motivation, you were saying about motivation. I love to say you don't need motivation, you need inspiration.
I love that.
And like you are also one of my inspirations. And
Thank you.
when I see people, doing good and just really staying consistent about what they do and keeping sticking to the rules and don't get involved in distractions and stuff like that, it will be all good. It will be all okay. I trust it. And another thing, now I have to look into the paper because I forgot shit. Yes, we can cut off. How many minutes it's now?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's. It will come back. I wanted to ask something.
Yeah, that's cool. Why do you believe? What? When do you think something or someone is inspiring? Because you say you're one of my inspirations because you work hard and stuff. But
no, working hard is not for me inspirational. Not anymore. Actually, I even look at it as a bad thing. Like, yeah, because all I saw as a little girl, my mother working hard. She was never home. I was 8. I even cut my hair like this because I was bored. I was doing nothing. I was home the whole time alone. And people being so proud I'm a hard worker. Yes, I was also a hard worker, of course, because I worked from 14 to support her as well and to pay for our apartment. But still, this is not something that will give you millions and make you successful. You will just waste the time on working, and what can't be returned? Time. So that's why I'm trying to work smarter now, less physically, more involved in my thinking. Yeah.
But what do you think it's inspiring?
Inspiring about a person, I think, is that they stay true to their path. It's about the person and about the situation. When I get inspired, let's say what I want to achieve. I want to be a professional trader, a professional dancer. Why? So I look at the result. Why I want to be this? Why I want to get that? And you kind of also feel it if it's from God or no. You know, if it wasn't, then it would never work out. But when every time you get a little yes, 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 a next step, yes, you passed the audition, yes, you got into a famous team, yes, you got confirmation with profits today, yes, and then you keep going because you get that yes, you know.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
I think yeah, that's important inspiration. How you feel about that situation. Of course, obstacles will come, and of course, things happen in life when you think like, yeah, it's not working out for me. I blew my account 3 times, by the way.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
I'm like, normally, you know, you're not supposed to say it to people because people can be really afraid that, oh, I'll lose all my money, blah blah blah. Yeah, but that's the part of the process.
Or
You lose to win more. So
exactly.
actually, I'm so grateful to lose the 200 euros than not 200,000 euros and learn the lesson right now before I step into the real game.
Facts. But you said something interesting there because I believe in times like these where you see all of these internet online business gurus, driving rented Lambos in Dubai, and the expectation of people to become rich fast, that's just wrong. Like, I'd rather say to someone, you probably will blow 5 to 10 accounts before doing the right steps and respecting your rules and becoming profitable, then you will become a millionaire in your first year because that's just not how it goes. So I believe like setting the right expectations to people. By the way, I don't work with people that have like this microwave mentality, like for real. No, if you're not willing to put in 3 to 5 years of your life and sacrificing what you love right now to really get it in life, I don't want to work with you. I'm just being real here because I've seen I've seen too many people just coming in to get a quick buck, but just they don't understand life. Success is not something that you have. Success is someone that you become. It's by putting in the hours and investing in the mindset and the spiritual development and the getting in the right networks, being coachable, talking to people that are way ahead, putting the ego aside and just being there all the time, wanting to learn, but making the sacrifices too. That's what it will eventually take to get you there. If you don't have that kind of attitude towards life, you're just not like everybody's worthy in God's eyes. But if you don't just understand how it works, you're not worthy of success. You just have to go through the process, and it takes years and years and years.
Yeah.
It takes years. It's like the person that wins the lottery in 99% of the times they're worse off after a couple of years. They ain't rich anymore. They're way in debt, just because they're not the person that has the mindset and the experience and the skill sets to manage the money and all of that stuff. So,
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Nice. Thank you.
yo, it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
came true.
Yeah, I think people expect way too fast for everything, and they don't understand that the first 6 months, even you just need to get into it. You need to learn the system. You need to learn how to see certain stuff, and yeah, we all want to quick everything. But I think the trading and also God taught me to be patient more than ever. Like literally on my vision board says trading mistakes. Not about calculations, but trading mistakes first. Fear, second, greed, emotions, and patience. And then when I want to take something emotionally and trade, I'm like, I look at my vision board. Nope.
Yep.
Nope, not now. Not now. Wait, wait. Yes. So yeah, you need to control yourself. Taught me a lot. All right. So you started accumulating debt at 18. It's because of the bankruptcy of the
No, no, but you tend to like get in the kind of same situation than your
parents.
parents and
Yeah.
stuff, but that was not the reason.
How did you manage to get out? And
Yeah, let's talk like how I got in first. So
okay, okay.
when I was when I was 18, I was I was going to school. The only purpose was to get a diploma or PhD. I don't know how it's called here, a master's degree. And the only thing I wanted to do is university because I thought that high school was not high enough because of the because of my parents. They really wanted me to become the first whatever doctor, bank director, whatever. And I thought that that goal was actually my dream too, until I got redirected by God. He just like I had a car accident when I was 18.
Yes.
You see like a little scar here. Thank God it was only that. Had a lot of like glass in my eyes. Couldn't actually see. The doctor said if the glass would have been like a fraction of a millimeter more in my eye, I would have been blind for the rest of my life. So thank God that was just like how it goes how it went. Yeah, thanks. Um, but so I had a car accident on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. I was super drunk. Like I should never have driven that day. But it happened. Had a car crash. Came out of that vehicle. It was like it was actually impossible. If the hand of God was not on me there, I should have been I would have died 100%. So I tattooed the guardian angel on my arm as well because of that moment. Um, but after a year, I actually got a. They actually sent me a bill, a bill of 15,000 euros that I had to pay within 31 days. Can you imagine being a student that has zero responsibilities more than just getting a degree and father no money, mother no money, and then 15K of debt. I had maybe a couple of thousands on my bank account. That was really everything, and I needed to pay this back in 31 days. So I just crashed. I literally just went into a have you ever had like a shock, a real shock that just like your mind goes out and you're like, my life is over? I had this. I was like 18, so I really thought my life was over. So I still went to school, but I just couldn't think about anything else than I need to pay off this debt. So even when I went to the I went to studying and stuff, and I wanted to buy a Red Bull or an Alu and a piece of cake. It cost me €2, and my mind was like, "Bro, you cannot afford this. This is not your money." So it was just very hard. I needed to. I just made a decision to stop school. Then I went to work, working in this chocolate factory at night. So was I knew after only 2 seconds that I didn't want to do this for the rest of my life, of course. Um, but then afterwards, just I kept getting into these situations that I put myself in by making the wrong decisions, like always. And the thing is, it was just something that was setting me up for something greater. 100%. I've always said I'm gonna like break the generational curses of poverty, my family, of stress, of alcoholism, all of these things. That's a great responsibility. I just didn't know how big of a responsibility this actually was. Only God knows, you know. So he was like getting me through all of these seemingly big challenges in life so that I could just, yeah, come to him or turn to him in the first place and just understand what he was doing in my life. But it ended up, long story short, into a point that I have like 50K in debt just by other car accidents, drunk. Haven't, by the way, drunk for drink and driving. I don't do for 10 years already, but we'll never do again. We'll never do again. Yeah, but I didn't learn my lesson in the first place. But yeah, just and then life system was not financially literate. Worked hundreds of hours a week, like 100 hour weeks, years in, years out. I was just working hard, but I didn't know how to manage my money. So every euro that came in was already spent. I was like just giving out everything, but I was like, I can do this because I just can. I'm working hard. I'm working super hard, so I can choose however to live. But I was still paying up then the debts and all of that stuff. So, um, how I got out, and I don't want to turn too much into detail, but it's all the grace of God. I could never, ever, ever, ever have done this my own. It was literally miraculous. I always say you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And I went through a situation where seven, eight, or nine, like let's say seven things in a time span of a year or two that all went divinely as it must have gone to be able to get to a point that I was actually freed from all my debts. And now being in the right environment, right situation, learning and helping people to learn some high income skills, all of that stuff actually got me to a better place. But all the grace of God, 100%.
Nice, nice. And what do you think about like hard working and working hundreds of hours per week?
Depends. Yeah, I actually miss it sometimes. I was going back into my schedule from a year or two ago, and I remember back in the days that whenever I had like a blank spot in my schedule, I got stressed out. I was like, oh my god, I'm
Like
so
a
tired. Yeah, yeah. And nowadays I feel like I'm a little bit comfortable, so
Yeah.
I would rather get back to a full schedule. That's what I want right now, but in a different way, because I've always had the idea that I was doing everything by my own, but now I'm doing everything with God. So I let Him work, and I'm working with Him. Not the other way around. But working hard, it's just, they say there is no secret to success, but it's just hard work. I think it's uh, it's a part of life you cannot deny in the process of literally becoming someone, because it's in the working hard and doing things over and over again that you just become more. That's what I believe. That's how I look at things. Sometimes you can just not work harder and more. You can work smarter, as you said, or maybe delegate and leverage other people and put them into positions that can help you. Yeah, make a system that sustains you. That system, as you know, stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. I love that.
Oh my God,
That's
that's
true.
virtual assistant, the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Whoa, she's
Yeah.
from Pakistan and she's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, she wants to do anything for me. So the mails, all that crap actually that waste your time.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
I need a VA. I need a VA.
Voila, but I believe that everything is our creator's plan.
Yeah.
And as you say, like when I see an empty slot in my calendar, I get a little bit uncomfortable. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
I get that feeling because before I was also, and still in my calendar, things are on top of each other even, and I need to color them even because I don't see through. My tasks are on top of everything. But when I see a slot, or let's say I have a client, and client cancels, and I'm like, okay, what now? And then I think, okay, creator wanted me to have this free time. Why? Because I probably will do something better. So then I go, maybe I take a trade and I make some profits. Maybe I go take a walk with my dog and then I see some sun and I can just pray and then, yeah, you have this moment for yourself where you feel at peace. So even those little things, just being in the present moment because he wanted you to take a break. Take a break, yeah.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Creator then. When did you find him? God's relationship with God. Was it after the accident or?
First of all, I don't think we find him,
He
but he
finds us.
finds
He
us.
chooses us.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Second of all, I've been raised Catholic, atheist, atheistic. My father didn't believe in anything. My mother believed in God, but in a religious way, right? So then, it was like, imagine being in this situation as a kid. So, whenever, for instance, you haven't seen or spoken to someone for 10 years, the name pops into your head,
Oh,
and you see that person in the midst of a crowded place. That's a moment that you think like, how there must be something. Then I became super curious, got into, reading books, like Law of Attraction and The Secret and all of that stuff. Learned a lot about the scientific side of, energies and frequencies and all of that stuff. And that just made a lot of sense to me. So now I knew there was like everything was atoms and energy, and I tracked the energy that I give, all of that stuff. Yeah. But then eventually 2 years ago, I was in Miami. I went to the Voot Church. So I went to a church. I thought it was rather cringy to go to a church because the only church I knew was the like a church building, most of the times cold, and no, no real it was just cold in a a real way, in a figuratively speaking way, but then I learned to follow people that have what I want, or that are how I want to be, kind of an aspiration, and the leaders in our community, they always spoke to my heart. It was like a wisdom that cannot come from books alone. And I just became curious. I was like, I want to be able to speak to people's heart like these people do, these leaders do. And I asked one of my mentors, like the people I aspire, they all have like this relationship with God, but I just don't understand. Can you help me? Or what can I do to strengthen and build a relationship with my creator? Because right now I believe, but I don't really, really believe, And he just said, like, you need mentorship, just like you have in business, just like you have in leadership, just like you have in training, sports, all of that stuff. And from that moment on, he said, like, the mentorship you need is a spiritual leader, maybe a pastor, maybe a church you go to. And he said, like, it won't make any sense in the beginning, but just keep going until it makes sense. And that made sense to me. So I went, and the first time it was like weird. All these people like in a surrender mode, worshiping, and I was looking around. My mind was like, bro, what is this weird place? um, but I just kept thinking about, okay, the person that told me this, my mentor, he's way ahead. He understands stuff that I don't, that I'm just getting into, like the baby steps, And then it started, like, it opened my heart, and I started just understanding more and more why things have happened in my life and how God is working in my life. I became a much more patient person and a more caring person, and I do my best not to judge other people, a more understanding person. I now even understand, and I'm gonna make some friends here, but I even now understand why people murder other people. I understand why the craziest things, why people are in jail these days, why this happens. It's not the person's fault. It's the bad spirit behind the person. It's 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 the it's what they went through, and their belief systems put them in a place that they do stuff that is absolutely, we can absolutely not accept. I don't say these things are good or bad, but understanding that the people that do bad stuff, it's because of what they went through. So now I tend not to judge, but to understand, not to speak, but to listen. You see? And that's God is helping me. I think the Holy Spirit, like, I respect like all ways of whatever and whoever you believe in 100%. But what I believe in is that the Holy Spirit is teaching you through life, through experiences, through people, through things you go through, how to act, how to get closer to yourself. You just have this gut feeling, right? And sometimes you make a decision already knowing that you should not have made that decision. You just feel what's the right way. I believe that God helps you make the right decisions, or guides you to feeling what's the best thing to do. And to listening to that more and more, going through life and going through all of these experiences. For me, it all makes sense indeed, because all of the mentors and high level, high value people are believers most of the time. And why?
this is all explained. Why they're acting like that is because we want to follow the light and we want to walk the kingdom of God. If you want to walk the kingdom of God, you need to think like Him, act like Him, take decisions like Him. I actually pray every day, take the bad habits away from me, take what's not for me, lead me to the right path. And the more I'm thinking like Him, the more I'm inspiring for others and I'm taking the right choices. So I think it's the same. Also, if you stay true to your belief, you go to church, you do the right things, right habits, that's how you become that person.
I believe that too.
Definitely.
100%.
But also what you said about judging and stuff, indeed, we don't judge. Like God doesn't judge. God loves everyone. Everyone is brother and sister to me too. Even if they have another belief. I have a friend who is a Muslim. We talk about God.
100%.
But we have a different religion, but it's still a creator. And we get along very well. It doesn't mean that we have to judge each other because we have a different belief system. And what you said about like people murdering and stuff like that, you know, I like to say with narcissist people, it's easy to say, he's a narcissist. But do you know what he went through to become narcissist? Like, what made him that person? The traumas, everything that he went through, it's not his fault. So I think people are very quick putting labels on everything without even truly knowing what the person is going through.
And the label is usually a reflection of their own insecurities.
Fears.
Because back in the days, I was the first person to laugh at someone or to make fun of someone, and just to make myself feel better. Thank God I stopped doing that. Like,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just filling up a void inside, which could never be filled up with that kind of stuff. But it was like feeling happy, creating a circumstance to make me happy, but the happiness just fades away immediately because it's not coming from real love or coming from a good place.
You know, I also notice people who are like more negative or unhappy. It's because they come back always to a situation or a person or something that didn't work out. A simple example: my mom still hates my father for leaving her, of course. But I'm like, you will never truly be happy and find the real man for you as long as you can't let go of that situation. It's for me, it's easy said because I'm like, okay, you treated me wrong. Bye. You have a nice life. I understand where it comes from. I give you a blessing. Give a blessing to it. But some people, they just really can't seem to let go. And I've done my best. I've tried my best. If she's ready, she is. But
I don't know, maybe give her a book.
I told her to go to church.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
she's maybe too close to you. But a book
Yeah,
about
she's after that.
forgiveness or
Forgiveness,
something.
exactly, and accepting and not judge. Just understand why they did it, and yeah, focus on yourself actually, and on God. If you focus first on God, everything will go good. But of course, because we are believers. Okay, what do we have more?
We prepared some good questions.
Yeah. Actually, this just goes for me. Yeah. Okay, what advice would you give to someone currently struggling, feeling stuck in debt and hardship? And how would you take them on your path?
Wow. I love that question. First of all, change the perspective on struggle. Life is meant to be hard. And things is people always want an easy life. But you know, as they say, easy choices lead to a hard life, hard choices lead to an easy life, but people just don't tend to really, really, really grasp that, you know? So it's a blessing to go through struggles. Change the perspective from struggles to growth opportunities, to blessings. The moment I started watching or looking at struggles as an opportunity to grow, I got excited instead of fearful. And as we said already, you attract how you feel, basically. You attract the thoughts that you have, and the thoughts will eventually make you feel a certain way. Uh, uh, like, looking at them as blessings, you will, your vibration will be so much higher, and you will attract better stuff to your life. But how would I help these people, or just it's so important to go through personal development every single day, personal development, spiritual development, to better understand why things happens in life. Surround yourself with uplifting people, with mentors, with people that actually have been through your situation, because your problem ain't special, your challenge ain't special. You are special, but the thing you're going through, people have been through it in all of the hundreds and thousands of years that we're in this existence. People have had the same situations, the same problems, the same struggles. But and everything is temporary. This is so important.
Oh, I love that.
Everything is temporary. Have you been in these situations that you're like, God, how long is this gonna take? Like, I've been in debt for 12 years. I've had like I could have like solved it maybe much quicker, but I've been in this situation for 12 years because I was repeating the same thoughts over and over again, attracting the same problems over and over again, and I just thought that I was not worth it to get out of this situation.
And
Subconsciously,
what did get you out?
God, faith,
Giving you
faith.
the rights.
Yeah, and just having the
Yes.
right, yeah, having just knowing that everything is temporary, and the faith got me out, 100%. And what got me to faith? The right people, the right environment, people that hold me accountable, people that don't say or told me what I wanted to hear, but what I needed to hear instead. Real friends, because people think real friends are those that comfort you all the time.
Tell you what you like to hear.
Lena, but it's okay. Just keep in bed. Just stay in bed and don't do anything if you feel bad. It's not about how you feel. It's just about the things that you must do. Just doing the things you know you must do, because everybody knows what they should do, but they just don't do it. If we would do more of what we knew we would do, 95% of all the problems would actually disappear in the process.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's also very minimalizing of people when someone, let's say, I have a bad day, I want to cry, and I say, it's okay, you can cry. I'm minimalizing what you're feeling.
Mm.
Instead of going into the problem and say, focus on the positive. Look, this is not as bad. It could always be worse. And we have often friends who are like, oh, you should feel, let yourself feel, cry, this and that feeling is good. But you don't have to minimalize that it's just nothing and it's just an emotion when I need to cry out. Sometimes it's deeper than that.
Yeah, 100%. I believe that we should listen more to how we feel and feel through it and go back to the thing that put that feeling up in your heart. It might have been a bad experience. It might have been the loss of a loved one or something. Um, you have to feel and go through it, but you cannot like stick to it. A lot of people are attached to something that happened in the past, and whenever you actually keep recalling that emotion of the past, you're actually just rebuilding the past in your present, so you're living in the past. This is something I learned from one of my mentors, and by the way, Dr. Jordy Thibaut.
All right, this was already amazing. So I have a last question always for each guest. If you could say in one sentence, max 3 sentences, something inspiring, leave a message behind for people, what would that be? Like your motto or something that's pulled you through your whole life?
Good one. Good question.
It's okay. I like it. Don't prepare for this. Say what's coming from your heart.
Yeah. Just know that you are enough. Life happens for you, not to you. Everything happens for a reason. Just keep going. Keep 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 going forward, and know that you're meant for greatness. Yeah, that like you're meant for greatness. Let's go.
That's good.
Thank you, Nina.
Thank you. It was
Thanks
nice.
for having me. It was a pleasure, 100%.
It was a pleasure.
Grateful to be here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jordy. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to leave a comment underneath, do that, please. Thank you. Bye bye.